Hi, everybody. Welcome to ZealZaddy, and this is our first show of a new campaign, of which this will be the last moment you'll see me. Hopefully, you'll hear me. We have a guest GM. Our own empathic Grimm will be running this one, and it's a game that is really interesting and exciting. I mean, who doesn't love Bridgerton and Kaiju? I mean, it just makes sense. You have to have them mixed. So I'm going to let Grimm take it over and enjoy the show, everybody. Also, if you're in chat, let me know if the audio is coming through. There should be music coming through, people's voices, all of that. See you soon.
Hello, everybody. My name is TR Grimm. You can find me everywhere on the internet at empathic_Grimm. It is my pleasure to be running this game for these fantastic people. I'm the master of ceremonies for this game of Sentai Sensibility. I will be going ahead and kicking us off by introducing us, starting with Natalie. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Don't do a character introduction yet, just do your personal introduction.
Of course. So hello everybody, my name is Natalie, she, they pronouns. You can find me on most places on the internet by Ghost Candle or Ghostly Candle on Twitch and YouTube. I am an artist and an actual play performer, so check out my socials, see what I'm up to when I'm not here playing with this fantastic group of players.
Morgan.
My apologies. I was typing in the group chat on there on the channel. What's up, everybody? My name is Morgan. I am Mindflay Mondays. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me everywhere except on Twitter as Mindflay Mondays. On Twitter, it's just Mindflay Mon. I have a team that runs pro games for people. So if you need to hire somebody to run games, check us out, mindflaymondays.com. And as always, I am really excited to be here with this group of people. They're amazing, and they make my Wednesdays, my hump day, a great day. So let's do this.
Blake.
Hey everybody, I am Blake and I am excited to be here. It's going to be a super fun time. You guys are in for a treat.
Michael.
Hello, I'm Michael. You can find me online at RoboSardi doing art and animation, but today I'm just excited to play.
And last but certainly not least, Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I am excited to play with this group. We have a lot of fun and a lot of great talent here. I've run my own campaign for Dungeons and Dragons. So if you want a nice cozy game, you can find us at Dungeon Damsels. Michael also plays in it, and it's been going on since 2018. Nice something to play in the background. We also have a Halloween special from like a couple years ago that's pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. Now back to you, Grimm.
And with that, we'll begin. Salutations, gentle viewers. As the seasons change in the capital, we find that we have again entered that most wonderful and scandalous time of the year. With the harvest done, fields and fallows of the countryside are left in the capable hands of many a steward and headsman, as the lords and ladies all return to the seat of civilization and culture in our fair land. The Queen, ever one to find opportunities to fill these quieter months, makes her wagers with those in her inner circle. Around the ton, many a mama twitter about, preening and prepping their children to be introduced for society. While there is business to be done and deals to be cut, none are more crucial to the well-to-do parents of the gentry as to find good and proper matches. The capital along the River Thames shows the progress of the Crown's goals for its people. Ever onward, ever better. Along one of the river's curves, St. Stephen's Tower stands about halfway through its construction. Factories fill the air with sun of progress, goods made from materials gathered the world over, creating a new rising middle class whose resources are starting to equal that of even the most ancient of the peerage. But the people in these factories are cared for properly, their pay is just, and their surroundings are safe. Healthy families that have never heard of Blacklung, and whose neighbors are met with a smile and greeting, no matter where they come from within the wide reach of the Empire. This is a world where the crown is good, the empire is just, and the people are protected by a nobility who understand the weight of their responsibilities. The morning before the first ball of the social season, held as ever by the illustrious Parvamati family, we open on the Fairfax Cavendish household. The lord and lady of the house enjoying a breakfast of some fresh fruits and strong teas. As the daughter of the house enters into the drawing room. Tiffany, could you describe Felicity for us?
Felicity is 19 years old. She has fair, flawless skin. She takes a lot of care of that. Rose water every day. She has ash blonde hair that is naturally curly and is pinned up in a neat bun. She has dark green blue eyes, sort of that hazel that kind of bridges that gap. And she has a athletic, slender form. Like, she does a lot of dancing, and she is wearing a canary-colored dress as she fastens on a red brooch and walks into the dining room. Is that where we're eating?
Right, card room, just a general sitting waiting room.
Okay. Morning,
comfortable.
Mama. Morning, Papa.
Morning, dearest. Henry Fairfax, who is a venerable gentleman who still has very charming looks and a very calming demeanor, is sitting flipping through the daily paper, every once in a while looking over his wife and making a comment, looks over and says, Felicity, dearest, did you know that there are rumors that Duke Brown is back in town?
Brown? Oh.
He's a friend of yours, is he not?
Well, yes. We go early childhood. I'm so glad he's back. I did write him, but he didn't seem to get the message.
Well, you never know. There are many things that could have happened to cause the post.
Suppose.
As the Lady Fairfax Cavendish leans over and says, I hear the most insatiable rumor is that he might be being courted by the new Count Blackwood.
Oh my. It's not that dreadful Cedric fellow, is he?
No, you will never believe it, but it seems that there's a rumor abound that there's a new contender for the Count.
Oh, well, that certainly does.
Nothing is known about him at this point, but if you do find anything else, please do tell me first.
Of course. Nothing gets past these ears.
With that, you hear Henry Fairfax kind of loosen his throat. Your brother is going to be in town later today. I do know that we have the Pravamati Ball tomorrow. Do you have any running you need to do for that still for today?
What does he mean by running?
Do you need dress? Do you need accoutrements? Do you need new ribbons, new silks?
Well, I must, represent the family accordingly. So I suppose we should run into town and find something appropriate. Can Cadman come?
Why don't you go wake Cadman if he's not up already? And the two of you, Christopher, the driver, the new one, is quite good. He'll go ahead and he'll get you guys into town. While you're there, he actually writes a little bit of a missive, and he hands it over to you. If you wouldn't mind stopping by about Huntsman's and Downing's for me. They were actually doing some filigree work on my grandfather's pocket watch. If you could pick that up for me, I'd be much appreciative. I'd do it, but I have some meetings to reach to today.
Of course, Papa. I shall be no problem. And she takes it and then goes to Cadman's room, and you hear this very exuberant knock.
Is Cadman awake?
No, he is asleep.
Is Cadman home?
Cadman is home.
Okay.
He is asleep, and he's like, oh, please, 5 more minutes.
And then it bursts through the door, and then I run to the curtains and I thrust them open to let the light stream in, and I'm like, we must go shopping.
Dear sister, I am hardly decent. Avert your eyes, please, sister. Oh, sister.
Is Cadman ever fully decent?
And he rushes very haphazardly puts on like his shirt is like as he's just like kind of flustered,
Around.
and what you would see before you is a fair-skinned male with a very much like strawberry blonde, kind of wavy hair, piercing blue eyes, athletic build. Yeah, must be in prim and proper shape. All right, you may unavert your eyes. You can revert your eyes.
She just does this roll of the eyes back at you.
While we
Alright.
leave the step siblings making their way towards the carriage that would take them into town, the Douglas residence in the capital. What is a morning like for Beatrice Douglas?
Beatrice is sipping her morning tea at the table, flipping through papers, studying up on whatever news that came from the day. She is already dressed in her daytime wear, a high-collared black shirt with a light sort of vested, like a deep shallow cut on it. She wears a gold brooch at the top of the collar of a swan. Her hair's probably the only thing that's a little more messy compared to the rest of her very prim, sharp silhouette. She has it in a sort of romanticized half updo, her ginger red curls kind of tapering down, and a very subtle fascinator compared to the other women of society with their larger, more presentationary pieces. Some would confuse her for wearing morning wear, but she does have a overskirt of her family clan Douglas, the gray and black tartan. And she is there sipping her tea, gently going through the papers, seeing if there's any new letters, anything of note, and if there is, she just makes a little mark on it to refer to later.
Sister,
Yes, sister.
as Amelia kind of makes her way over and slides up next to you, very codishly, are you sure I can't join you for the Pavamati ball tonight?
I am
Tomorrow
most
night.
certainly sure you are not old enough. You're but a wee girl.
I know I am almost as tall as you are.
Growth does not station you in society yet, though.
Come now, you know I'm more mature than half of the people who are going to be there. I mean, Cadman's going to be there.
And she sort of chuckles at that. My dear sweet sister, you have a year. Just be patient. If anything, just learn from afar because people can be.
But the rumors are that Duke Brown is back in town, and if someone else gets him, what will I have?
You are but 14 years old, little sister. You will find a man, I'm sure you will, as you are a rose amongst the family and I have to be the thorn. Maybe the next time our auntie takes us to Italy for vacation, come the winter.
Please, if you are a thorn, dear sister, you are a gilded thorn at worst.
Well, someone in the family must be a thorn in order to protect our good name. And I need to ensure that you have the brightest of futures, and that is what I am doing if you can only listen to me.
We know it's not our cousin to do that, she says as she slips back over and grumpily sips her tea.
I know the rumors just as well, but we will keep to ourselves, keep our name in mind, and you need to not make life difficult for me, so don't come sneaking after me. At least I bring back the governess.
Now, sister dear, I would never put you in such a position. But in that case, might we go together to Madame K's for you to pick up your new gown?
Well, you are always more than welcome to join me on running.
I
You
guess
best clean up because I'm going to leave shortly, and I won't wait.
Fine, I will return momentarily. As she goes over, she gives you a very polite kiss on the side of the head, very endearingly as she walks away. Duke Brown.
Yes.
Having just returned to the city, how is the Brown family townhouse doing?
It's doing. It's there. It's clean. Yes, it's taken him a while to get back into the swing of things, so it's all rather new to him, feels like, even though it's only been a few years, if not more. So,
You're as you are enjoying your breakfast, you are able to feel the pressure from your butler standing just off to the side of you.
Nathaniel, could you just, maybe a couple steps back, just a few. You're gonna.
I
Just
still
a few
think,
steps.
sir, that it is the only proper way for us to return back to the city is to restart the plans for the Brown family ball at Yule.
Yeah, yes, but Nathaniel, is it the perfect time to be discussing this? I mean, I barely touched my food, and I can't think straight unless I'm well fed. Any good duke needs to be well fed to make the best decisions possible. You taught me this, actually, Nathaniel.
I appreciate every year the more and more of my words you're able to turn back on me, sir. It fills me with such joy as he takes a half a step back from you. By the
Thanks,
way,
Nate.
and as always, Duke Brown, a pleasure. Will you be going to help assist the new Count Blackwood for showing him around where to find any accoutrement he might be missing for the Pavamati ball tomorrow?
Yeah, he's a peculiar fellow, but yes, I definitely will help. He's different, but he's yes.
I will send a missive back to his townhouse so he knows to expect you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Nathaniel. Appreciate that as always.
The Blackwood townhouse is a bit of a gothic affair, much like many of the holdings of the Blackwood family. It's, by the eyes of some, a generation out of date, but to others it is a piece of classic architecture, a touchstone of the city, as it were. Arthur, you are sitting down to breakfast, and before you is a pitcher of strong tea, some fruit, and some baked goods.
Obviously, well, first off, let me just describe Arthur. Arthur is a rugged yet refined-looking man. He's seen both the grit of the West, and he's got a little bit of elegance of high society, as even though he's more feeling that American Western edge, he was raised a little bit proper. He's about 6 foot. He's got a lean but muscular build. Carries himself with a little bit of a quiet sense, but also a confidence. Very confident. He has sharp cheekbones, strong jawline, a neatly trimmed beard, which looks like and mustache, which looks like it's just recently been neatly trimmed. It's a very fresh cut. His skin is weathered, a little bit tan, clearly somebody who has spent most of his life outdoors. And he wears a large brim black hat, very much like a cowboy. And he wears a black duster, but underneath it, he's wearing very, very much like what the people here in London would be wearing. But he has like purple and blacks underneath it. And he carries a revolver at his hip at all times. And he reaches over and grabs the tea, sniffs it. I think this might need some lightening up. And he pours some whiskey from a flask into his tea.
AP, you hear the voice of your friend, Eli Thorne.
Eli.
We've been over this.
Yes, well, you've been over this, my good friend. But I, sir, disagree with what you think I should be doing. I enjoy my whiskey.
I enjoy my whiskey as well, but there's a time and a place for it. And within polite society, breakfast is not such a time or place.
Well,
Jonathan, as your butler comes over at Eli's call, takes the now whiskey tea away and places a fresh cup and saucer in front of you.
To that, he takes his flask and just takes a hit of it. Jonathan, do not touch my flask.
I would never, sir. To be as to bold as to touch the Count Blackwood's personal flask, other than to make sure it is filled up with your with your Jack Daniels, I swear it will never be harmed.
Fair enough. Eli, why don't you sit down and have some breakfast with me? By the way, Jonathan, when is this hoot nanny happening?
Hootenanny, sir.
Yes, you know, the hoedown.
He looks over you. You see as the elderly frame of Jonathan Grimbook, who is probably in his 50s, very refined, very perfect butler, gentleman's gentleman, looks to Eli for help. He means the ball tonight. He means the ball tomorrow night at the Pavamati estate. It's tomorrow night.
Oh. Well, is there any particular thing that I should probably be wearing for this event? Can we get a hold of my new friend, the Duke?
Duke Brown?
Yes.
Well, see, this is an invitation kind of like I told you about, where to request his presence is seeming unbecoming. You have made acquaintance with him. The proper thing for him to do would be to send the invitation. You respond cordially, and you guys would meet upon an agreed time.
Oh, Lord. It seems to me that these people here in London just don't know how to interact with one another. Why do you have to do all this hoopla? You know, running around, chasing your own tail just to try to...
Because two generations ago, everybody's family wanted each other dead for more power.
I don't even know these people.
That puts you in a fantastic position. You have no enemies. There's a grumble that walks past it is audible living room. You have one enemy.
Is that my dear cousin Cedric?
Leave him be. Leave him be. We'll have to deal with him in public where he is forced to behave himself to a better degree.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, no point in blowing smoke up the man's rear end, I guess, in this time. I'm sure he'll make a fool of himself tomorrow night.
Oh, if my rumor mill is still as functional as it used to be, I have no doubt that will be the case.
Well,
there is a ringing at your door, and Jonathan leaves for a moment before coming back with a letter on a tray for you.
You don't have to put the letter on the tray, Jonathan. You can just bring me the note.
It is the proper way for it to be done.
Well, I don't feel that you need to do it here in my home. I am now the Count here, correct?
That is correct, sir.
So for now on, don't waste a tray. You'll find a better use for a tray.
As you say, sir. He takes the letter off and hands it to you, very properly tucking the tray under his arm as he bows a little bit, handing you the letter.
Thank you, Jonathan. Tear it open.
As you tear it open, you see that it is addressed to you from the Duke, and it is very much what Eli was talking to you about for the invitation being extended.
Well, looks like my dear friend the Duke wants to see me as well. Ain't that just a spiffy little situation?
You'll need to send him a reply in the affirmative, as well as proposing a time to meet.
Jonathan, I'll let you handle all this. You seem to be very well informed on how these procedures
Very well,
work.
sir. I will send it momentarily. So, as we get to the proper part of the day, the area we are in of Angel's Crest is the most well-to-do of well-to-do. This is a place of the nobility, and as such, there aren't many shops that cater to those of refined and higher tastes. We start at Madame K's, the most illustrious of dress houses upon the Tawn. Who's next to want their dresses altered? The voice of the illustrious Madame K herself, a fairly new addition to the area, a woman of Creole descent who has taken the fashion by storm over the past 4 or 5 years here. Felicity, you are next?
Oh, that would be me.
My dear Felicity Fairfax, as always, Cadman. You see, there's a little bit of a smolder in her eyes as she bows her head to you slightly.
Madam K, you honor me so.
You see her. She offers her your hand. She offers you her hand.
And I take it.
Oh, such a charming boy. Such a charming boy. Go, be gone. Huntings and downings across the street. She'll know where to find you once I'm done with her.
Oh, fantastic. I have no reason of a doubt that you'll have the most handsome dress. Yes.
And I take out the little note that Papa gave me and I hand it to Cadman.
What's this?
Well, Papa had some filigree worked on the pocket watch that he had from Grandfather. So I was thinking perhaps you could pick it up instead, since we're going to be there.
Not at all. It'll be my duty.
Cadman, on your way out, you see Beatrice Douglas and her sister entering in.
Oh, dearest
Ah.
Cadman.
Lady Douglas and the young Lady Douglas.
I turn around. Oh, wait, no, she's more proper.
Hey, yes, my little sister, Amelia, is attending with me as we do our shopping for the ball tomorrow. I assume
Mr.
that is what-
Cavendish, she says as she just does a very small bow and a duck to you.
So
It is
to-
very good to see you. How is the rest of your family?
Oh, as bright and chipper as ever. I see
Splendid.
you and Miss Fairfax are also doing your errands for the ball tomorrow?
Oh yes, quite so. We must have new attire for the celebration tonight.
Indeed. Well, I won't hold you up, of course, if you seem to be on your way somewhere. I'll take company with Miss Fairfax.
Oh yes, please do.
All right, well, suppose if I do not see you today, I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Cavendish.
I look forward to it. And hopefully I'll see the young Miss Douglas there as well.
No.
Sister,
No.
Don't
She
you
is but a
worry.
year off.
Don't you worry, there'll be a time and a place.
that's what Beatrice says.
And it'll become sooner than you think.
Indeed. Sister, why don't you enter? Go ahead, look at the dresses. I'm sure you'll find something to your fancy you can wear around the estate.
Of course. Lord Cavendish, she does a proper curtsy this time before making her way into the shop past you.
I do a small bow.
And I just fan in hand right in front of Cavendish's chest, be like, do not encourage my sister.
Oh, it was just a bit of a jest.
Well, you haven't seen how spirited she can be. It's hard enough for me as it is. Don't need your charming ways to whisk off with her.
Oh, right. Sisters know best. I should know. As I look back towards the,
I'm glad
Madam
we
Case.
agree on that. But I will see you later.
Yes,
And-
I have business.
Do a curtsy and I turn to Felicity.
Chris, it's so lovely to see you. And yeah, it's been so long.
You see just Felicity is also very bashful. Not Felicity, Amelia's very bashful as she kind of curtsies a greeting at you.
I see you're here to do some shopping as well. It hasn't one of the fashions of the wonderful Miss K caught your eye?
Maybe some adjustments, but I know Madam K understands my sensibilities and my tastes an
I
application
have
to
a
work
new
for-
gown for you already done up, Miss Douglas.
Oh, delightful. And the new sash as well from the family. It's been...
Yes, ma'am, it's been altered to your specifications, as well as I have acquired, she says she reaches down, as she finds a much larger, this time it's a swan in flight, fly pen for you.
Ah, lovely. And I turn back to Felicity. Yes, I had already sent in orders before. My dear Isabel is on top of everything.
Well, you did a splendid job. I have been circulating on what exactly I want to have people see, and it dawned upon me that I would rather like to bring about feathers. I like the. She goes on to explain how she saw like there was this woman from Italy that she met, and how she had this wonderful weave of silk through her hair, and then this plumage of feathers, and then some like jewel dangling down the one side, and she thought it was the most wonderful thing, and so she immediately asked Madam K if she could do that and make it to fit her already ordered dress. And she typically likes to match with Cadman somehow, so she'll have, this is like a darker yellow, probably like silk or a high linen, and then there are little like perhaps like a lace or a sash that is red to call back to Cadman, and then he will be red with yellow.
She recommends to you a combination because she has an acquaintance of hers who is one of the more refined glassblowers in the city for the beadwork for your hanging aspect for your headpiece, a mix of red and yellow glasses.
That's fine, absolutely.
Biddy, you hear her call around and you see a younger woman about Amelia's age. Peek her head around. She is also, you know her more as a food runner over at the Rabbit, so it's odd to see her here. Run over to Francis for me. Please let him know I will need 24 of the ruby and topaz shaded glass beads he's been working on. There's a quick little nod from Biddy as she runs out the door.
And I inquire after that. I'm like, is that little Biddy? She doing errands for you?
She's just doing some running for some of the other shops around. Apparently she's been wanting a little bit more pocket money for odds and ends, so...
I can't blame a girl for wanting accessories.
I'm not going to tell her no.
Of course not. She's a wonderful worker.
She is a fantastic worker. Now then, she says as she turns around the sketch she's been working on, and it's very much this beautiful flowing golden colored silk wrapped around your hair, kind of giving you a beautiful two-tone with your natural hair color. With these little flashes of yellow and red peacock feathers that have been painted for the plumage and the beads dripping down, tying in, and you see that she's actually added a little bit of beadwork applique to the dress for where the beads hang, so it almost feels like it's this rain of gems.
Oh, you are simply marvelous. I love it. I adore it. Absolutely.
Of course you do, Felicity. It's one of my customs, she says with like not like a self-centered, but with like a this is how good I am, and everyone knows how good I am.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very charming. Now, why don't you go ahead, sit and have some tea, Miss Douglas? Am I getting something for you and Amelia, or just for you, or just the stuff you ordered today?
Well, I feel I need something for Amelia to placate her excitability.
Someone's a bit too eager to be shown on society.
Yes.
Well, in that case, she motions you over as she shows that the amount of tartan that was sent was actually kind of an egregious amount of... It's an abundance of tartan. And she actually turns around and you see it's a more traditional styled dress done almost entirely in the tartan. and there are two of them, one in your size and one in Melia's size. Perhaps something like this.
Oh, that is quite darling. You've definitely taken sense of our old Scottish customs. I love it.
Do we want to invite her over and have her try it on?
I'm sure she'll be delighted. Amelia?
Yes, sister.
Madam K has a surprise for you.
For me, you see her kind of peeking her head around, and she has like 4 or 5 different hair accessories sticking out of her hair. You can tell she was looking in a mirror trying to figure out which one she liked best.
And I'll just like gingerly come over and start puckering up. It's like, yes, so why don't you go with Madam K and see what sort of surprise is there for you?
Oh, that's fantastic, sister. Thank you.
And then
As she
start putting everything back in the
starts
right exact
scurrying
spot.
away. While this is going on, the smell of Huntsman and Downing is leather, tobacco. There's a smell of high quality cigar and pipe tobacco. There's this, very, very light caramel notes of high quality alcohols being served from somewhere. Because for the life of you, as you enter Cadman, it looks just like a haberdashery and a milliner's shop. There's hats in a variety of construction against the walls. Many an accoutrement that the most discerning of gentlemen will know comes from the illustrious Huntsman and Downing. And at the back, to be honest, a little bit rotund, but immaculately dressed, Hubbard Manfield is appearing to almost be napping as he is sitting, his head tucked a little bit, as he seems to just be breathing evenly.
Mr. Mansfield!
Mr. Cavendish, a pleasure.
An honor, truly.
It always is with you, sir. What brings you in today?
Oh, the usual. Business and pleasure.
And pleasure. Well, you see him kind of lean over and he bumps one of the hats on the wall and turns a little bit as one of the many, many shelves full of accoutrement pops open. Pleasure, sir.
Ah, yes. The proper way to enjoy a ball is to have the ball before the ball.
As you open it up, the source, and it's almost like it's a wall of cigar and tobacco smoke you're walking through. As you go up these very carefully hidden stairs into what is perhaps one of the best kept secrets around the town of the Hunters Social Club.
Fantastic. Oh, but it is not all pleasure as you grab a cigar.
Of course not. Of course not.
I do need the right attire for tonight.
Well, I will have Kevin come up with a tray of things that match your usual taste. I am assuming with your sister coordinating the attire, you are red with yellow accents for the first ball of the season as per usual.
Oh, yes, of course. I see that.
I have some new cufflinks from a redstone mine in the Americas with a gold inlay that might just be the most beautiful thing to pass through my shop in a couple of years.
From the Americas?
From the Americas. The rumor is the brown mines are the source of this new kind of stone.
Oh, well, surely we'll make an audience of the Browns at the ball tonight.
Can you confirm that he's going to be there? I heard that you and he used to run in similar circles.
Oh, yes, we've known each other since we were just mere children. And unfortunately we have not keep up with communications. I have written letters but yet to hear back from him.
How odd. You see as he takes and he pours you a glass of a very cool ale Perfect for kind of the beginning of a warm fall morning before it gets into the evening. How odd. You'd think that someone like him, as he slides the drink over to you, would remember who his friends are.
Yes, and I have divulged many secret dealings with him. It is quite worrisome.
Is it really?
If I may be so bold,
You may.
I'm a bit put out, really.
You, Cadman Cavendish, the most affable man on the Ton, put out?
I know. Jury for me to say.
I don't know what to say to that.
Oh, it is no offense to Mr. Brown, of course.
Of course
It
not.
is. But having lack of words or any news, really. What am I to think? Hopefully don't think of me as a villain.
You! Master Cavendish, you are the hero as always.
Oh, stop.
No, I look at you and I picture the stories of old, of knights of the round table, of men of honor. Such a rare thing to find these days. He says as the tray of beautiful red and gold accessories are placed in front of you.
Oh, quite exotic. Yes. Quite handsome. Yeah.
They are. I also have, he says as he pulls out a ruby and topaz braided pocket watch chain that is spiraling gold with set rubies and topazes. I also have this. I will warn you, the cost is exorbitant, but the value is more than I am selling it for. I can't take myself as a merchant of such fine goods to allow something such as this to sit upon my shelf and not go to someone who would truly cherish it for what it is.
Oh, please, it'd be a crime for it to just sit on the shelf
It
without
would
being
be.
flaunted at any balls or soirees.
I will say, how about this? We don't need to discuss the price. I will just simply send the invoice to the family register for you.
Now that sounds splendid indeed.
Will you be
For-
taking all of them then? He motions towards the tray full of goods.
So we have the chain and the cufflinks.
And
I
there's
imagine
some tights,
what I'm
there's-
wearing.
Right.
Yeah, and just for fun, what I'm wearing is very much like a high-waisted pants with just like a high-cut jacket
Mm-hmm.
with two long
Tails.
and it is like a very kind of like deep red and like a nice yellow kind of silk neckerchief.
Will you be wearing them out then, sir?
Okay, this is a question for my dear sister. Would we be wearing our brand new digs out? Is that a regular practice of ours? Or would we wait to showcase them off into the ball?
We absolutely must wait to showcase them. There's simply no other way. Don't ruin the surprise.
Oh, as luring as it would be to just be the belle of the ball, I have to wait for the ball.
Well, then let's be honest. Your sister's always the belle, but you are the king of the dance.
Oh, stop. Please go on.
As everything gets set up for you, you finish enjoying your cigar, you make your way down, and as the door opens, you see a man who looks very similar to Duke Brown, and of all things, a cowboy behind him.
Duke Brown, my dearest friend. I was hoping our paths would cross today before tomorrow's events. I was informed by my butler that you might be able to help me navigate this soiree. So, I wish to maintain my comfort while not looking like a rough cop, if you know what I mean.
Oh yes, yes. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. And then just to describe, I didn't describe Patrick last time,
Oh,
but
yeah.
medium build, slightly musculature, but kind of lost a little bit. Like he hasn't been, working as much as he should have been. He has in his opinion, the best looking cornrows, the most immaculate maze woven throughout them that no one in this era can,
Match.
match at all. So, and wearing nothing too flashy, just something a little more subdued. Almond color coat, just something, to nothing flashy, just something to keep, subdued. But yes, I can definitely help you. You wanted me to call you AP, correct, Arthur? Is
Yes.
that
Titles amongst friends just seem unnecessary, you know? We have spent some time on that trip, and by the way, I must say that your hair is looking much better than when we were on the ship, if you recall.
Oh, okay, yes, that was. Yes, water doesn't really mix well, and then it took Nathaniel a while to get it back. So, but we don't need to speak of that. But yes, I
No,
mean, I know things here are different, but I will say, change is good. But just remember that most people have lived their lives a certain way. It's not always as easy to change, and some people can be stubborn, some people don't change, and then, but that's besides the point. So just be, easy with everybody. And not saying you have to force yourself to fit in, but
my dear friend, I am easy with everyone I meet. I am not a difficult man to get along with. I mean, we get
yes,
along just fine from the moment we met, correct, sir?
well, that's true, but sometimes, I mean, not that I can be more open around people sometimes. I mean, but in certain areas, certain places, one must be, sometimes not different, but oh, you'll figure it out. You're smart. You're smart. You got this. You'll figure this out.
You know. Well, let's see here. So you were telling me outside that this is the place to come to get yourself set up in a nice set of threads.
Mr. Brown,
Yes. Oh,
what a surprise!
he turns around, takes off his glasses, and kind of gives this person like a inquisitive kind of glance. My gosh, Cadman. Oh, AAP, this is Arthur. This is Cadman. You're so. Have you
It
grown
is-
so much? I didn't even recognize you, and wow.
And you look quite handsome yourself. Quite
Thank
an
you.
honor and a pleasure to see you again. It has been ages.
Yes,
Some
I
time
will.
now.
Yes, I will say the same. I mean, I wrote to, but I guess you're too busy, working out to look good to get back. But that's okay. I get it.
I can
I'm-
say the same.
Oh, well.
Me
can
and my
you
dear
I-
sister have written to you and have not heard any news of your travels or your business.
Well, I'm sure you have. Maybe, yes, I'm sure. Anyways, that's bygones be bygones. That's we're here now. That's the main thing, right?
Oh.
But excuse me though, I need to introduce my humble
Yes.
friend. We actually met not too long ago. Arthur P. Blackwood, or AP.
Arthur Percy Blackwood, my dear friend. And your name is?
Cadman Cavendish. It is an honor, Mr. Blackwood, and quite a fetching attire you have.
Yeah, I don't know if I fit in too well with your lot here, but
Oh,
I do take pride
please.
in my clothing.
Who needs to fit in? It is better to stand out. That is why you've come. I mean, honest, you've come to the right place if you're looking for shopping for new clothes.
Well,
Am I
I-
mistaken?
Well, I'm looking for a nice fit, something that is comfortable, like the way I'm wearing now. But I also don't want to look like a catawampus, if you know what I mean.
A cat?
What?
A cat? What is?
Something out of place.
Oh. Well,
Catawampus. Catawampus.
Yeah, sorry. it's
rolls off the tongue,
Western.
Catawampus.
I hate to intrude to this engaging conversation. You guys turn and see again the very plump form of Hubert Manfield, adjusting himself. but I would hate to dissuade a new customer, but this is a haberdasher and a millinery. If you're wishing a tailor, I highly recommend Gladman's right next door.
Oh, please, Manfield. These are friends of mine. They would be happy to peruse your establishment.
Well, I love the smell of this wonderful place.
Why, thank you, sir.
All the smells I've enjoyed.
Well, you see him kind of adjust himself. Mayhap. He looks over towards Cadman for like a look of approval of whether or not to introduce them to the Hunters Club.
I lean in and I'm like, I can personally vouch for Mr. Brown and his friend and their merit. They are very close to me and my family.
As you say, he reaches over and tilts the same hat again as the door opens.
Well, now, this is becoming more and more my kind of establishment.
Felicity.
Yeah.
Wherever is Cadman?
Simply went over to Huntsman and Downings to run an errand.
No, true, but you sent your dear brother over there quite a time ago.
And she looks at like a little timekeeper that she has. Oh, it has been quite a time. And so she's like, she gets up and brushes her dress off. She's like, well, I suppose we shall just go and fetch him. He probably got distracted watching things. Or talking. He is such a wonderful talker. Flory! Is Flory with me? I hope
Yes.
Flory!
She's always... Yes,
Flory,
my dear. Yes, lady.
Did you find your own dress? I should want you to look most beautiful as well.
My lady, as you know, I have plenty of clothes that are properly coordinated for the event.
Oh, fine, but you must let me at least get you this brooch. And then she like brings out a little brooch.
If the lady insists, we'll never deny her.
I do, and I insist that you wear that purple dress and the blue and this blue brooch. We shall look absolutely merry together.
As you say, my lady.
Well, come. Beatrice, are you finished here? Would you like to accompany me? Oh, you're muted.
So Beatrice
You are finished also.
Yeah, finishing off her tea, her sister's still running about. It's like, I think we have finished our errands for the day, but if you would like my company, I'd be more than happy to attend with you.
I should always love your company.
Yes, sister.
We're going to find Felicity's dearest brother.
We're gonna go find Cadman?
Yes. You're free to come along, or you can go off home and try on that dress and dance around.
No, I would love to join you.
All right, 3 is a great company. And I extend my arm for Felicity.
I take it.
All right, off to find your brother.
As you guys walk out, Madam K just slowly shakes her head. That boy gonna be in a lot of trouble. As it cuts back over to now the scene of the 3 gentlemen sitting at this bar, cigars in hand, whiskeys on the table.
Mr. Blackwood, if I may be so bold.
You're muted.
You're muted, yeah.
He goes by AP. This way I didn't answer. Just kidding.
Right.
Yeah. I already told you, my dear friend, you may call me AP. You got me into this fine establishment. So we are on a first name, or in my case, initials.
Very well. AP, I noticed that your hat, are you one of those cowboys?
Well, this is one of my favorite hats that I've taken with me from the America.
If I may, sir, in regards to your hat, he brings out a tray and sets it down, and there is a decorative hat buckle that would be designed to go around the leather binding of the hat. that has a beautiful amethyst carved like an owl on it.
Well,
It's
Nah,
inlaid in silver.
you know, I've never been a flashy individual, but this does look good, and it represents my family's estate pretty well.
I was assuming. May I be so bold as to ask you a question, sir?
Well, go ahead.
He leans over on the table. You wouldn't happen to be the new Count Blackwood, would you?
Well, you might be correct in your assumptions.
Fascinating.
Yes. Jolly good.
I hate to turn this into a business meeting as well, but unfortunately, the Blackwood estate does owe me a little bit of money from charges drawn to it from
Let
a
me guess,
member of your...
Cedric.
I would never be so bold as to state a name of someone who's never been
As-
in this room.
As the Count of Blackwood, I give you permission to say his name, if it is Cedric.
I would indeed be Cedric Blackwood, who owes me a sum of... You see him pull out a small book from a pocket, flipping it open. As of the last debt that he owes 50 shillings. He says he closes it with a snap, which is 50 pounds sterling. Closes the book with a snap and slips it back into his pocket, which is a lot of money.
Well, now, I am freshly in town, so I'm still learning what is going on in my, family's estate. But I will-
This is not a pressure of payment. I'm just simply letting you know that you might want to check with other places of means to see if similar debts are owed to similar people. As a token of this, as you appreciate the amethyst hat pin, I'll be honest, no one else of my customership would wear such an item. Consider it a token of further business association, as he pushes the tray towards you.
I look over at the Duke on proper etiquette if I should accept this or not. Or is this just going to put my family into bigger issues?
You see Duke he's been kind of paying attention, and kind of just but not fully there. He's kind of looking a little wistfully off to the side before he makes eye contact back with you. Just I'm sorry, wow, that's really nice looking. I'm sorry, my mind was a bit elsewhere, but are you looking to get that? I mean,
Wait,
what's...
this gentleman, what was your name, sir? Good, so I did not catch your name.
Hubert, sir.
Hubert here was offering it as a gift. Now
A
Hubert,
token of goodwill and continued business partnership.
Well, Hubert, I'm all for business. Believe it or not, even though I am from out west, I love making good business. Good business is good money for both parties involved.
I agree.
With that said, I'd rather pay for this. I've come from a background where nothing is given to you. You earn everything from your
In
your
that
actions
case,
or from...
how about, just as a token, £1? I won't accept a shilling more. A token payment and a token gesture.
Well, that'll do. And he'll put it on the table.
He takes it. Though I do have a question for you.
And there it is.
You'll appreciate this one. If Cedric does come around again, do I have your permission as the head of the house to toss him on the street?
Oh, do be so kind to show him what he needs to learn. If you do not pay your debts...
I knew that this would be a fantastic partnership. You see him, you see him kind of look up as a small bell over the door rings, and he kind of peeks down, and you can see, if you're paying attention, there's a little set of mirrors that allows him to see the front door from where he's standing. Cadman, your sister has arrived.
Oh, yes, we should spruce up. And, my sister would love to see you, Mr. Brown.
Oh, it's been as soon as he hears her that it's his sister, he kind of straightens up. He was slouched before, kind of straightens up a little bit. Well, of course, I'm be delighted to see her too. It's been so long. Yes. Oh, hello. He's gonna actually just walk and go.
As you guys stand up, you see that Hubert takes out a bottle of oil that has a little bit of different herbs in it, and he does a quick spritz over all of you to get rid of the worst of the tobacco smell. As everyone is led downstairs through the exit is coming through one of the observation rooms he has off to the side, so it doesn't look like you guys have been upstairs in a secret chamber.
Yeah.
Whatever would you be talking about?
I will say to Hubert before we leave. Now, Hubert, I would ask before you throw my cousin out on the street, give me a day or two to talk to Jonathan, the family butler, as well as Cedric, letting him know of his predicament.
Of course, sir. It's the least I could do given the circumstance.
Thank you. And I'll follow you guys right on out.
Sister!
Doing that room in the back.
Oh, sorry, I mean, you could see why I was indisposed. Our dear friend has returned. And I kind of just gesture towards the Duke Brown.
Oh, from the city. It's been too long. He goes over like he's gonna reach out his hand, but then puts it back.
She's like a little cold. She goes, "Oh, so you are friendly now? I should not see why, for you did not write me at all."
He slumps his shoulders. Well, I did, but I think you have this backwards. You didn't write to me. You can ask
I most certainly did. Flory, did I not write him letters for an entire fortnight every day?
Many times, mistress, as well as several times once a week after that for about 2 months.
So where have all these letters mysteriously gone to?
You tell me, because obviously they haven't gone to me. So you can ask my helper who's not here right now, Nathaniel. He's great about these kind of things, and he can vouch for me. But as I told your brother, it's whatever what happened happens. But let's while we're talking about something so tragic, let me introduce you to somebody.
We should not be fighting. Yes, we should be celebrating. And we have new company as well.
And as they say, you see AP like having a swig from a flask.
She looks over behind. She moves to look past Cadman, and then she's like, "Oh, this is so exciting! A new person." She's like, and then there's like the slightest break of how to behave, and then back into prepare.
It's just in the
Montia
background. Hand like almost like a mother's grip on Amelia's shoulder, seeing that Duke Brown is here.
It's a cowboy!
Indeed it is, little sister. And then I bring her close and keep her there.
He is vibrating, trying to slip out of your grasp a little bit.
Is that Beatrice?
Good day, Duke Brown. As well as, Cavendish, I saw you earlier, and she takes a particular...
Arthur Percy Blackwood. Apparently the new count in town.
And you see like she gives like a discerning up-down look, noticing the hat and the wear, and gives a very slight, almost approving nod, as though she recognizes wearing one's country's apparel, as she is in her own Scottish wear.
And you guys would all, I will say you all notice that when he's moving around, you will see there is a revolver in a holster at his hip.
Oh. So, you keep very colorful company, Duke Brown. However, did you meet?
Oh, on the way coming back, actually. Spent a while together on the ship that we came back on, so it was got to know him pretty well. Well, not as well as I would like, but yes, he's a good man. Very good man.
I must say that Duke Brown and his cousin made my trip much more pleasant than it would have been if I had not encountered them on this trip.
Felicity, you again hear the rumors going about town that your mother told you this morning.
Which was
That the Count Blackwood might be courting both the Duke Brown and his cousin, the wife of the French ambassador.
That's right. Oh, and pray tell, what sort of activities did you find yourself doing that was so enjoyable?
Mostly just talking about business and, our colorful backgrounds, our history, sharing stories, swapping tales. Wouldn't you agree there? I mean,
And definitely not swimming. Definitely not in those waters. No.
No, definitely not swimming. That would be quite dangerous, jumping off of a boat into the ocean.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, are you to attend the ball with someone on your arm?
No.
Nope.
Not new in town.
Well, I'm sure a man of your stature could acquire a gosh, Tiffany can't think of the word. It's basically a date,
Yeah.
but it's a different word. Someone to accompany him. There we go.
Did we lose someone? Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Did
we lost Grimm.
Oh, we lost Grimm.
The DM's gone.
We lost
lost
the
the
DM.
We lost the DM. Quick, someone take the. We're just gonna go.
And we got a raid coming from.
And the kaiju attacks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now we're the DM. I grab AP and I'm
Well, I mean, I'm sure if I really was looking for.
And cut to
Somebody do
an
it.
off screen.
There we go.
Oh, did he?
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Hey, it happens. No worries.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I do it all the time. So
Yeah,
no,
but you're
good.
set up for it. I'm not.
It's okay. Quick second as we
We
rearrange
also are
ourselves.
trying to look for the break too.
Well, now. I gotta.
Okay,
Scott, we can't hear you, Scott.
Scott, you're muted.
Oh, is he?
Woohoo! Welcome. So, I mean, I'm sure I could have a date if I so choose to have one join me, but I'm not interested in that this time. I'm still trying to get the lay of the land,
There's no shame in that at all either. It's okay to. I'm going myself. I'm alone as well. Sort of just kind of sag at that.
Dude, Brown,
But,
you're never alone, my good friend.
So you have no prior engagements.
I'm saying I'm not taking anybody to the soiree tomorrow evening at this time. I'm just there to introduce myself and meet others in the society that we are now finding ourselves in.
Then it shall be my pleasure if I should have the first dance.
Well, I would be honored.
Sister.
There's nothing I should. You should be
How forward?
properly cared for.
Such hospitality. I expect nothing less from you.
Well, we must lead by
You
example.
see Hubert in the back making a note on one of his books. Finding it.
Quite the.
Upon hearing that, Badger's gonna just walk and go. Excuse me, I'll go say hi to Beatrice. Excuse me, I'm going to go to say hi to Beatrice. But it was good seeing you, Felicity. I'll sure I'll see you at the.
Yes. We shall put these letters behind us. It seems that there was a misunderstanding. I'm so very terribly sorry. I am.
Yep, you sound very. Yes. So I'll see you later. Yes. Bye.
Yes, of course, at the ball, right?
Yes. Most likely.
We have
sort of
much.
just kind of slag as he walks to go talk to Beatrice.
She's noting everything.
When he starts to walk away, you hear AP lean over to you, Cadman, and go. He says, "He looked like he madder than a mule chewing on some bumblebees. What was he upset about?"
Oh, we have known Mr. Brown for some time as kids, and he was always highly favored of my sister. It is a...
Oh, should I not have accepted the first things?
Oh, no, of course not. It was
It's
very...
all new to me.
No, it is quite becoming, really. It is... For... As our guest here in our home, it is only proper for us to escort you to such a ball. And Pavati's ball is as your first. What better way to experience Angel Crest?
Well, I guess I'll have to take your word for it.
Now tell me more about these cowboys. Do you use a lasso?
Well, some do. Those are the ones that actually go after the cattle, and then we'll have our little conversation while everybody else is.
Duke Brown, I'm most glad you have returned.
Yes, it was long time away, but it's good to see you. You're looking well, and your sister too. Nice to see you as well.
Yes, Amelia has been quite excited to come out. And sure, Amelia Manners.
Oh, is she old enough to do that yet?
No.
No.
But that one day
Still
will
here.
come. Don't sound so glum. Exactly, and you need to enjoy these years before things get so
Nothing
abstract and
happens,
felicity
though.
complicated. That can be a good thing. Trust me, that can be a.
Oh, you'll appreciate it, dear sister.
But
Downtime
yes.
is desired.
Are you going to? I know you're going to the a little soiree tomorrow, or tonight? Is it the days? Tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow.
I'm representing on behalf of our family.
We do that for you.
No. And you will be
There
glad
could-
for it. But I did.
But there could be no one better. No one better to do that.
Well, I'm well trained for it. But I, of course, cannot overhear the conversation with our dearest Felicity. I highly suggest maybe stopping by the postal office if you haven't seen letters at home.
I will do it. Apparently I may have missed some, and they've missed mine as well, so maybe I'll have them check too, because I know I sent quite a few to you as well. I imagine that's what I've heard from them, that you didn't get anything either.
I unfortunately did
assume.
not, so I started to get very silly with
Of
my letters
course.
halfway through. So you'll have
Oh, silly. Okay, not can imagine what your silly letters would be like. I haven't known you to be silly, so now I'm
I
really
get
wanting to
quite
check.
bored in England. I find a little more activity back home in Scotland. Excuse me. But, yes, I've started to have fun when I realized I wasn't being answered, so at least then I will know if you have received my letters.
Yes, well, and then yes, that'd be good. But so are you going to bring anyone to the story yourself? Or you, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I'm quite the lone shrew, as some people like to say.
Oh, who? Well, don't let me see someone who says such a thing about you, some slander like that, because no. I'm sure you have your reasons. I got my reasons for being alone too, and that's being alone is perfectly. It's good. It's wrong with that, It's
No,
Yes.
our independents are quite valued, and it takes someone who understands that to be able to stand and appreciate.
Exactly. I couldn't say it better myself.
I do sincerely hope you must tell me much about what you've done over there. I've read many a novella and novels. I've recently gotten into Moby Dick, so I need to know what the America's like.
Well, you should definitely. I mean, Arthur Percy Blackwood. He is a great young man. He'll let you know all about it. Some things they do there is. He'll have to tell you, because I don't think I can do it justice. They are a different bunch over there, and I thought we were different than Jamaica's, but they do things a little little different. Come on, I'll introduce both of you if you guys, if you
Of course, we
Don't
would
mind.
love to.
I get to meet the
Alright.
cowboy?
Yes, dear sister, but I believe it is Count Blackwood, yes?
He's a
Yes.
cowboy count?
The
Let's just
cowboy count. I like
Call
that.
him appropriately. Remember your etiquette.
I
Of
will.
Blackwood.
I will when we get there. Let me have my fun while I can.
It's okay. I promise I won't say anything about cowboy count. So yeah. Then I turn us back to the where they're, unless they were conversating while we were conversating, so they can, if they were. If
Yeah,
not, then I guess we'll come back.
They were talking
So-
cowboys and lassos.
Yeah.
Just last us
Now,
back. Oh.
now, one of the strangest things that well, not really strange, but the way we usually handle problems over there is, much like you do here with a duel. But we don't slap each other with gloves. You just tell them to meet you outside.
Oh, how forward.
Well, yeah.
Quite.
Life's too short
come back.
to be spending all this time talking and planning. Just handle your business. Move on.
Have you in the boxing league then, as we step up.
I haven't done any boxing in some time. I wouldn't mind trying it. Is there a place here where you can get in the ring and
Oh yes, that we should have sport.
Hmm.
Oh.
Someone is a cowboy like you would be quite capable in the ring.
He could
I
always go
dare
to the.
say.
He could always go to the Coliseum. Amelia says with a little bit of a smile.
Oh, how rude of me. I'm
Congratulations.
sorry. Yes, I'm not sure if you guys met each other, but well, I guess here you guys go. Yes, this is yes, this is this is Arthur Percy Blackwood, otherwise known as AP, the gentleman I was telling you about from yes, the Americas.
if you are friends with Duke Brown here, then you are more than welcome to call me AP.
Well, AP. My name is Beatrice P. Douglas. So we have a middle name initial in common of the Queensberry estate, and this is my little sister, Amelia.
It is an absolute pleasure to meet both of you. And he puts out his hand, like to take it properly.
To me or little sister?
To you first. You're the eldest sister, so he would do it to you first.
Yeah, so I take it.
Mm,
And curtsy.
yeah, and then he does it to your sister as well as you, young one.
Pleasure.
Now, besides boxing, what all do you do around here for fun? Well, boxing in these balls. I used to call them other things, but what else do you do for fun? Anybody play poker?
Well, we do have an ice of cards, of course.
Oh yes, we do play cards.
You know, bridge and Old Maid and things like that.
Oh, and we have other sports, croquet,
Oh, I love good croquet.
a good old
Cricket,
basketball.
Oh, that's a
I
new
prefer
one.
to go horseback riding.
Horseback riding. Very good exercise.
Fact,
But it-
riding is
well-
fun. I mean, that's just how we got around out there.
Well then, I
We-
must take you to the Queensberry estate to ride the Scottish moors. I think you'll like that, and it'll be a different experience.
Yeah, I'm always up for something new, so yeah, I would be
well,
delighted.
Maybe you can show us something new too. I mean, you've like
Cultural
done other things.
exchange.
Exactly.
Oh yes,
So-
share some of your culture.
Indeed, we're quite curious.
Yes, I would love to learn more
What
about
is it
these
that's-
cowboys.
Yes, what does the cowboys do for fun, as you have asked us?
Yes, tell us about the cowboy ball.
How do
Yeah,
cowboys
well,
have balls?
We don't have balls out west. What we have is, good old hoedown or hootenanny. Go out there, dance, have a good time, drinking.
I mean, a cowboy. What are you to do without any balls?
How does one
Still
meet
dance.
each other?
We still dance. You go out there, you have some drinks, play some cards, But I will say, I don't know how y'all get around here, but over there they tend to drink a little too heavily, and if you're not careful, you might end up in a fist fight. Or...
Oh,
Scandalous.
Oh.
Oh. Well.
Beatrice generally chuckles, which might be a surprise to most of the group.
Oh.
I catch that.
It's all good fun, especially when you take a stool and you hit somebody with it. It's an absolute pleasure.
So you partake in fisticuffs for fun? Ah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then you do have experience of boxing. Jolly
I have
good.
Some of my best friends were made from hitting them in the face a couple times, and vice versa. You know, you gotta know how well you can trust somebody to throw a good punch if you're going to be friends with them.
Oh.
Make sure they can.
Cadman, mean you
handle
need to
themselves.
spar then ASAP then, because so we need to that way we can
Yes, we should do sport in the ring. It would be my honor. I'd-
Plus, we also like to go out there and have shooting contests, and rifles, pistols, set up some targets, see who can hit them the best.
Of hunting here. Back home we do the fox hunt.
And there's always the she waves at Cadman. The discs that they launch out to shoot. And then she looks at Beatrice.
Yes, for sport. Yes.
What's this called? Clay pigeons. Yes, we shoot those.
Yes.
So some device fires up in the air and you shoot it.
Yes.
Well, why not just throw a bottle up, pop that in the air?
Because
glass
the disc
shards
goes
everywhere and
higher.
kind of
The disc
yes.
it goes high
It-
in the air.
I mean, everything
It's
has
much
its
like a bird.
Everything has its own purpose, really. A bottle for holding your beverages, and a clay bird for shooting. It's for sport.
Well, I'll have to try all these things while I'm here. Maybe y'all can introduce me to them.
Yes, you're going to be having such a fetching vacation, unless you're going to be staying in our fair city.
Well, I'm staying here for the foreseeable future, that's for sure.
Oh,
Splendid.
Uncle did, for some reason, leave me in charge. I'm not sure why, but being in town for a few days, I've kind of learned that my cousin Cedric seems to be getting himself into quite a bit of trouble. So, maybe
Ooh,
that's
if
why.
yes, quite dastardly. If I may be so bold.
Oh, please, I do not mind.
There was quite a stir about him.
little nuisance, really.
A devil. Oh, sorry. Oh, so
Cadman.
becoming. Oh, sorry. Such cutting words. I should not in front of new company. Oh,
Yes, but she's been nearly thrown out of every one of the shops on this lane. Can't be seen across the restaurants and cafes.
and I know I'm in trusted company. I can trust you of such. I've heard say that people have gone missing on his behalf.
Oh yes, there's dreadful rumors about people vanishing suddenly, and well, that's about it because they go away.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does have some type of connections, but from what I've seen from my conversations with him, he seems to be all hat and no cattle. So,
No
I'm-
hat
beg
and
your
no
pardon?
cattle. So, is he just riding a cattle with no hat?
No, he's someone who seems to run his mouth, but when it comes down to actually, putting it in action, he's lacking.
Ah,
No,
Just as I
don't say it.
suspected.
He's a sword.
yes, a
Mm.
man with no honor.
Yes, man.
Most unbecoming.
On the
Yeah,
mirror.
he's crooked as a dog's hind leg.
Hmm.
Simple as put.
Dog's
Yeah, so-
hind leg.
Is that crooked?
How does he walk then?
Cadman, they walk. That's how they are normally.
What if a dog has a crooked leg? I guess it has three already. Has
Yes,
used the other
yeah,
three to
she's-
walk.
there's a pause, and she's just like, yes.
Well,
We'll cover that later.
well, hey, why are we all talking here? We might as well go to also take it to the spot we used to go to back when we were
Oh,
younger. We
yes.
might, if you
yes.
guys still remember it. I know it's been
it.
a while.
But of course, how could we forget? Come, AP, we are showing you around town.
Well, I'm all for it. Let's go. Show me the way.
As you guys walk down towards the rabbit, there's actually a bit of commotion as Cedric is actually thrown out of the rabbit as you guys approach it. He is sent tumbling out of the front door as you see Sable, the cook of the rabbit, walking out, her sleeves rolled up, intricate tattoos down her arms, a giant wooden spoon is her hand as she is threatening this now crawling man across the street.
Cedric, why don't you cowboy on up and stand up and get on your feet?
Arthur, this woman is mad, I say!
Well, I'm sure she can't be any madder than you.
You see the woman now turn, pointing the spoon at you for a moment, seeing the rest of you, and then lowering.
Whoa,
Now, there must
down,
be
man.
there must be reason for such behavior. Explain yourself.
Lords, ladies, you know that my wife and I run a very tight ship. You know that we have served this area very, very gracefully for many a year. If that cad steps another foot in my restaurant, I'm turning him into the mince for the pie. As she just turns around and walks away back into the restaurant.
Hold on. What all has he done? I need to know.
Besides the tab, he's accosted one of my servers. He's threatened one of my patrons. I can't have him in here anymore. He's bad for business.
Well, that's just a shame. Well, he's making the whole Blackwood family look bad.
I fear so. I hope these rumors of a new Camp Blackwood are true, lest that ruin the entire family names. It's been built well for generations.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not introduce myself. I am Arthur Percy Blackwood. I am the new Count.
You see her look a little bit relieved at that.
And as we're all like talking and I'm looking at her, and I look over at Cedric. Oh, Cedric,
he's skittering away, and you see him turning and have run at this point.
Oh, Cedric, you leaving? Yeah, you may go now. And he just kind of like shoos him off.
There's a glower as he turns and sees you at the corner before dipping behind it.
I just like lean to Felicity's like, as beautiful as a cockroach.
Yes. I should see the shine of his scarab shell when he runs away.
How much does he owe you?
He owes my restaurant £20.
What was the other one before? It was like, was it
50?
50.
50 pounds, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you are the current Count Blackwood, if you would care for my recommendation, if you have a gentleman who works on your behalf, I would send him to every shop up and down the street, get a full ledger of all of his debts. I assure you it is much more than you even think at this point it is.
Oh, I'm sure it's not much more than I already think it is, because I know it's going to be a lot. I've been to 2 places, including yours, and it's already more than it needs to be. So.
In lieu of that, and to make up for my general displeasure towards your house, please come in. We do make some mighty fine pie of my great-grandmother's recipe.
Thank you. I do
Glad
love
to hear they support the pie.
As I hear Felicity say, I do love me some good
Not
pie.
the pie.
You see that all the time, then eat it till we got sick, and then that was... Oh, I'm glad to hear they still make it, though.
Yes,
By the way, Victoria kept the 4 of yours old study room. Still how you all left it.
Oh, good Victoria. I do love her.
By her graces. Absolutely capital. Yes, let us go to our old spot.
Wow. Right down memory lane. Let's, let's... Yes.
The doors you guys open, this long sealed off room creaks as a little bit of dust and a couple of spider webs up in the corners add to the ambiance of this room. There are tarot cards, crystal balls, documentations of many of an occult nature, dowsing rods, There are rumored bits of an Egyptian sarcophagus. There are many of on and odd an end spread out around the shelves.
Ah, just as mischievous as we left it.
Oh, that's where my amulet went.
Sorry, AP. Maybe we should have hopefully this isn't too much for you. This is yeah, we're just
Reminds me of a lot of things I've seen in my uncle's estate. So I mean, ain't too odd to me at this point.
Oh, really? Is your uncle a fan of the occult? Of these?
From my understanding, he was.
well.
Well, you're certainly in the right place. She goes over to the crystal ball and begins to, she pulls out a little handkerchief, begins to dust it off.
But
Wow, I can't
surely,
believe they left it.
but surely just for fanfare, right? He was not a practitioner.
I mean,
There is a quiet meow that comes as a cat comes slinking out of the table. Black cat comes slinking out of the table, stretching, kneading the ground for a minute as it sits and looks up at AP with brilliant purple eyes. Blinks twice, winds around his legs, and walks out the door.
that one of y'all's cats.
No, I have
Have-
never seen a feline with purple eyes. How peculiar.
What?
Very.
I've never seen such a thing.
Flory, could you be a dear and ask Victoria about this unusual cat, if she knows anything about a purple-eyed black cat?
Of course, my lady, it was an odd occurrence. I will go check with her forthwith.
Thank you.
Catman, to answer your question, I personally do not know my uncle's involvement with the occult. I do know that my father had told me many stories, growing up, related to the strange and oddities here found in good old London. So I'm assuming my family had some ties. I don't know how deep, though.
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to uncover some of those ties. But if you want to, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to yourself and kind of see where your familiar history lies and these kind of things. But yes, we as a group we used to be, I would say, really into it. Are you guys still, I mean, it's pretty dusty here, so I imagine maybe not as much, but do you guys still keep up as much with things of this nature, or?
Oh,
I'm quite out of practice, really. All of my time goes to the pianoforte.
Oh, you still play? Oh.
Oh, yes! I have first chair in the Philharmonic Orchestra.
I'm not surprised in the slightest to hear that. They didn't play music like you in the Jamaicas, not at all. I mean, we had our own things, but you just had a way of playing yourself that was, I don't know, just sounded right. But anyways, yes, I haven't kept up my studies much with this either. Been busy with other things, or I guess you could say important things. But do miss it though.
Yes, I always did like the crystal ball and the fortunes and things like that.
Y'all partake then.
Yeah, what do you mean by partake?
You practice. You practice the occult.
You find solace in a tarot card draw.
Beatrice, I remember you were quite the best at it, if I remember. Would you indulge us with a draw?
Certainly can, as I pull a kind of a deck that's been bound by sort of a velvet bag, and I pull it off the shelf. Well,
As you're doing that, AP will pull out a cigarette and light it up. Is it all right if I smoke in here?
I mean, yes, but we may not want to smell a certain way. We don't have any spray here to kind of,
I'll just sit over here away from y'all then.
Oh, okay, yes, that's.
I just discreetly open the window.
Oh, please, you would honor us with your comfort.
I like Cadman.
Oh, well, someone needs to. I kid, Cadman, I kid.
I know you do. You could be such a cad.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh.
You guys
Yes.
are all like, you guys are all doing your little hot, and AP just completely confused.
You guys
Oh.
spend the remaining time doing tarot readings on each other. Some tea was brought up and tea reads were read. As the day comes to a close and you all return home having done your shopping, Cadman, you feel in your pocket a piece of parchment that you were given by Felicity.
Oh, right. Yes. For all the festivities that were happening, I completely forgot about Father's
Oh, really,
Father's
Cadman?
watch. Oh,
Oh, well, let's go see if we can catch them.
how silly of me.
You were able
Is
to
it-
go retrieve the watch. It was given back to you. There is a very intricate carving on the back now of what looks almost like a circle. And it's beautifully filled, and the two of you have it in hand. You go home. It's a very pleasant evening with your family. You guys did miss. You guys do hear as soon as you get there that Felicity, your brother, was delayed,
Oh.
but he will be in the morning. First thing forthwith.
But I'm glad the Diablos would be coming. I hate to hear that she was tarried, but I suppose it can't be helped.
It's quite a shame. I really did want to speak with Albert again. You know what? I think he would find AP quite fetching.
Certainly, I'd find him interesting.
Yes, of course. He is a man of honor, and I believe AP is of equal stature.
And she's like, well,
Sure.
sure. Oh,
Do you not think so, sister?
I think I have a very high opinion of Albert, and none shall surpass him or be a sequel.
Ah, yes, sister, very fair and very cutting as always. Speaking of cutting, you with your invitation to AP, right in front of Mr. Brown's face.
Well, he could have
quite
invited.
quite the villain you are, sister.
Duke Brown could have invited me to the first dance. He chose not to, so I suppose I'll make things interesting. Besides, who am I to? We shan't let our dear AP to just throw him into the fire of our society. No, he must be led.
Surely not. He must be shepherd.
What
Yes.
if you hear behind you, Felicity, from your dear lady's maid? Heaven forbid Bianca has to dance with him.
Yes, heaven forbid Bianca.
Oh, don't even speak of that name. Oh,
I hope she
Oh.
doesn't sing again.
Oh.
Oh,
This is too much. We need to get the couch. Don't
yes. What's
don't
the
ever mention the name. Oh,
Oh,
As the two of you get lost in your vapors. Beatrice, you return home with Amelia. It's a quiet evening. Your own housekeeper, having received the gowns, has them in your chambers properly for tomorrow. Was there anything else to be doing for the night, ma'am? You're muted.
Myself?
There you go. You're good.
Yeah, sometimes it takes the mic a second. I think I can tend to myself for the rest of the evening. But thank you.
By your leave, then. She bows and makes her way out.
And just in like the quiet of her room, which her personal lady's maid would know of this and not dissuade her in the late of the night. Beatrice does have a small habit of drinking a shot of Scottish whiskey and a little bit from a smoking pipe that is of her grandfather's making, and she just enjoys that before she goes to sleep.
Patrick Brown. Having parted ways with AP, where do you go?
To the post office. Post haste. I'm going straight to the post office. So I say adieu, and then I just, just like,
You find that as you say who you are, you get almost a glower from the postmaster as he reaches down and pulls up this stack of envelopes and sets them before you. Seeing it being both envelope messages that were sent, these are all the messages that you sent. Due to, for whatever reason, whether it was the bag got wet, the only thing that was legible on the envelopes at this point is Duke Badrick Brown. The finishing addresses are illegible.
awesome. And just to be clear, these are my letters, right?
These
ones
are
that-
your letters to them.
I knew I should maybe have written that in a little darker ink, like Nathaniel told me. He kind of says to himself,
By the
thank
way,
you, Gal.
sir, would a Badrick Brown also be you?
Yes, Duke Badrick, Francis
He
Badrick
pulls
Brown,
up
that is...
a second set of letters, puts them next to you. These were addressed to you and were returned to us from the Americas.
Wait, the Americas? Wait, what? What?
You see that there are post dates on the letters, and the letters were to the locations where you were supposed to be in, but they always arrive 2 to 3 days after you have left that location.
Oh. Of course, well... Maybe it's better to happen that way. Man, I say that out loud, but no one he's there. I'm like, yes, thank you. I will take on both of these. I do apologize that this mix-up has taken up so much space that you
I appreciate
for...
your expediency, your grace.
Yes, I will. I will. Well, I can't take. Wait a second. I can't take this. It was addressed to me, so I will. If you don't mind
Please
me
do,
taking these.
sir. Please do.
Yes.
We insist.
Yes, and I will make sure to always use better ink next time.
Would be appreciated, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night.
It's better now, sir. Appreciative.
Yeah.
So you do see that the top letter that falls off is a letter from Beatrice.
I use my letter opener, gently open. We'll take it home first. I'll take
Right,
it.
this is
Yeah.
after you get home, you put it down in your office. A letter slides out that is from Beatrice. And as you read it, Natalie,
Oh, yes. So
would you go ahead and read that for us as Badrick Brown is sipping whatever his beverage of the night is?
Yes. So by the post-it, this is some months into your journeys across the sea. And it reads, "My dear friend who is lost in the Americas, a thought has come to my mind as to why none of our company have heard from you. That, by some chance, our letters are not reaching each other. At least that it's what I am betting on. Maybe there's a strike as the workers are not satisfied. Not that I would blame them. However, I have not heard of any such thing occurring, nor would it be so long-lasting. Maybe, by happenstance, the letter bags are being tossed overboard. An unhappy sailor chasing the letters of his pined love that write to her betrothed, hoping to end the relationship via unanswered notes so he may pursue her. That seems unnecessarily dramatic, though entertaining enough. Most likely, I think, is the simple thing. The addresses given were written wrong. I have looked at the address a dozen times. It is supposed to be 11 or 77. Is it 17 or 71? Perhaps it is something else entirely. I fear we may not have your place address correct, nor you have ours, considering we have no word of you either. Felicity has been beside herself at the lack of correspondence, which you will have experienced by the time you read this letter. I can hardly speak sense into the matter, if not being you ignoring us. I'm sure it'll be quite the spectacle when you return. I apologize for whatever I may or may not do or say. I cannot predict the mood I will have upon your arrival. I hope I may redirect whatever mess may be made, yet most likely watch the spectacle if it happened to be so bored. Either way, I look forward to the stories you'll bring from America. I've been reading some novels from authors over there, but I hope to enjoy listening to tales from someone I know. Sincerely, your friend in need of an exciting story, Beatrice B. Douglas.
All well, sir.
Sorry. Say that again, Nathaniel. I'm sorry.
Are you well, sir? You appear to be, within your emotions at the moment.
Yes, I'm fine. Just, look at all these letters. Look, they just say never reach us. Always a couple days off from where we were. So just.
That's odd. I
It's
could have
been-
sworn I left a note for them to just forward any missed letters to our next address. Why would they have returned them?
That's a good point. I know you're.
In fact, I know you specifically told the Georgia hotel to forward all of the postage to the New York hotel.
I did. But it doesn't matter. I mean,
you see him pour you a glass of port, your father's port, as he slides it over to you across the desk of your table in between the two stacks of letters.
Yeah, just like my father, I guess, right? I mean, I don't think I need a drink tonight. I just want to, I don't know, I think I might just go to bed early. It's been tricky coming back and seeing everybody, but thank you though. Yes, you know that Dukes need lots of, what is it, 8 hours you said, right? So I should
8 hours indeed, sir.
Yes, so I will get on that right away.
Do you mind if I then, sir? He says as he picks up the glass of port. It would be a waste of good port.
Yes.
You see him takes a sip as he pulls out one of the ledger books. Tomorrow on the morrow, I want to go over something with you that I found while I was perusing the books that are being kept in our absence. I found something interesting, but it can wait for the morrow.
How? Nate, I'm trying to go to sleep. You're going to tell me I found something interesting right now. You thought this was a perfect time to...
It is not a pressing thing. But
now, how can I sleep with, like, what's interesting? I'm like, well, what is it? What could it be?
As he goes into the finances with you, we pull out Arthur Blackwood. You are in your own study. As you hear
is it the cat?
It's a cat. You hear a cat.
What in the tarnation? Jonathan!
As you look around, and then you look down, there sitting in front of you out of nowhere is the black cat with purple eyes.
How in the hell did you get in here?
Through the door.
I'm sorry, did you just speak with me?
Familiar such and I have the ability to do so.
Jonathan, I think I might have had too much to drink.
He's asleep.
I can't believe I'm talking to a cat.
I can't believe
you be?
You may call me No, I used that one back in Germany. I used that one back in Italy. You may call me Goodfellow.
Do I have to?
It is the name that I choose. May I have your name?
Well, I mean, you're in my home. I would hope you would know my name. My name is Arthur Percy Blackwood.
Good way to answer the question. You passed the test.
I didn't know I was being quizzed, but what is this test for? Still can't believe I'm talking to a cat.
You'll find out
Look
upon
at
the you'll find out upon the morrow. The cat jumps down and disappears.
I think I might put way too much whiskey in my coffee.
Sleep eventually finds all of you. As the moon slips into its meridian and the late hours of the day of before the ball turn to the darkest hours of the morning. In these dark hours, in a dark place, a ticking clock signals the arrival of a millennial game. Two figures in spectacular and unworldly garb sit facing each other. An impossibly high view of the capital lays sprawling outside the window of the River Thames, reflecting the gaslights that mark its path through the venerable old London. A third spot at their table is open, the larger of the two figures, dressed in a resplendent coat that seems to generate its own light, as if it contained the multitudes of the cosmos, chuckles, rubbing his hands together as the clock reaches its end, and a deep, resonant bell fills the air. As the figure rises from their seat, their mask, a superimposed crescent moon over a sun, seems to stay in the same orientation as their head tilts in an odd and unnatural angle. They are late. The bell tolls again as the other figure rapped his knuckles firmly on the table, causing the sun-masked man to drop back into his seat. Projecting total control and dressed in the darkest umbers and blacks, trimmed with gold that glowed as if freshly printed from the Queen's Mint. Their mask, a single featureless piece of polished obsidian, save for two golden glowing eyes indicating something beneath it. Not until the final bell tolls, Celsior. The rumbling of a soft rumbling starts in the center of the table, as a deck of cards emblazoned with a draconic Ouroboros over two crossed swords raised in the air starts to shuffle itself. Morphia has that long until the deck is shuffled and her hands are dealt. Until then, it is within her right to be here or not. Another bell tolled, and another, until the 12th bell started. Sigrige, I win. Morphia is... The gloat of the sun-masked man is cut short as the door opens, revealing a woman in a silver gown with a rainbow sash. Her mask, a mix of artwork and pastels, as she enters the room full of grace and poise, is here, despite your best efforts. Sitting to take her place, the sun-masked against the sun-masked man, the 22 cards separated from the deck, shuffling in fontaine before one by one, 7 cards stood in front of each of the 3 masked individuals, the last card spinning in the air before landing in front of the black-masked Grish. Judgment. Face up. It is the day of the ball. There's much to be done. Does anybody have any last-minute needs to be attending to before we get to the ball proper?
I think the only thing that I would have been dealing with would be speaking with Jonathan to get an account of how much my cousin owes, so we can start figuring out how to fix this stuff, and also that way I know what I should start planning to do to my cousin.
It takes until the afternoon, at which point you start getting yourself ready for the ball. Jonathan.
I have something I want to do, but
Okay.
go do what you want
Yeah.
first.
Jonathan Grimbrook comes in. Jonathan Grimbrook is a very proper gentleman's gentleman. You've never seen him nervous until this moment.
Jonathan, you seem to be a little perturbed.
Perturbed is a good word for it, sir.
Well,
Would you like the good news or the bad news?
Well, let's start with the bad news, because then we can work towards the good news.
1,600 gold, 1,600 pounds, of which 700 of those pounds are owed to the Coliseum Maximum fighting ring. Apparently, Cedric has a history of bad bets that he has not repaid in kind.
How much was it that he owes to the Coliseum?
£700. From my understanding, he was given assured bets to go off of.
It sounds to me like we need to send a message to Jonathan and to all these high society types here about how the Blackwoods now handle things. Personally, I think we should just let everybody know that they can take out what he owes them in any fashion they see, but that might not be the proper procedures here.
Well, I hear that the Queen of the Ring, the matron of the circus, the Colosseum Maximum, is known for allowing people to attempt to wind their debts away.
So basically, Jonathan, you're telling me we might be able to set something up to have Cedric work off his debts in the Colosseum, correct? Through taking a few blows to the face over and over and over until he realizes
the error of his ways?
Yes.
Quite right, sir. That unfortunately does leave around £900 just between the different restaurants, accoutrements, and shops of Angel's Crest. I've also gotten some concerning hearing of him possibly owing a particular Irish organization a certain additional sum of money that I've not been able to confirm yet.
Well, I think with the shops that he owes money to, we should, as I've spoken to one shopkeeper, until he pays off his debts, they should be allowed to toss him out in the street. And
I've gone ahead and informed them as such, sir.
And they should also be informed that if they accept any other dealings from him until he pays off his debts, that the Blackwoods will not be held accountable for it.
You wish for him to be cut off from the Blackwood accounts, then, sir?
Well, I wish for these people, well, not necessarily cut off, but he needs to start earning his keep, and I will leave that to you to determine how he can start earning the money that he is overly spending. But I want these people to stop accepting his debts until
I will inform that he is no longer an accepted debtor for the Blackwood estates.
Thank you. That should be a start for now.
It is how you would say staunching the wound, I believe is the term you've used in the past.
Yes. Well, it's, like I said, it's a start, but we have a long way to go with Cedric.
Very well, sir. Will you need any assistance finishing getting yourself ready before the ball tonight?
And also spread word that if anybody does decide that they want to take it out and hide, that there will be no repercussions as long as he is not
permanently
maimed or killed.
I will pass that on as well. I am sure many people will take their payments in pounds of flesh at this point, as it were.
I was thinking about letting Cedric know, but I think it'd be better if he found out.
I agree, sir. Capital idea. Capital idea.
Well, I'm going to prepare for the ball. I have a lovely lady, Felicity, that is going to be teaching me some dance steps when we get there. So.
Oh, Felicity Fairfax. So the Fairfaxes, a little bit of knowledge. Her brother is a very decorated captain from the Queen's military, as well as the current captain of the Queen's military.
Cadman? Cadman is this? I've only met Cadman.
Oh no! I'm sorry. Her blood brother, Miss Felicity and Mr. Cavendish are step siblings.
Oh.
No, this would be Albert. This would be Albert Fairfax. He is supposedly in town and is likely to be in the ball's attendance tonight.
Well, it should be a fun time tonight. I'm sure people are going to be coming up to me, asking me all kinds of questions about being a cowboy, as well as what to do about my troublesome cousin. But
I will do what I can to pass around the help of the Angel's Crest to that Cedric is in hand, as it were.
One last question.
Of course, sir.
It has come to my attention that people seem to converse in rumors
Yes.
Find out if there's any rumors that I should be aware of before going to this
I've
ball.
heard one. I don't know if you're going to be a fan of it, sir.
Oh, joy.
Apparently, you've had quite the liaisons with both the Duke Brown and his cousin.
His cousin's married. Wow. Wow.
I am simply giving you the rumor that I know.
Well, if you hear any such more rumors, I hope that you will help squash it. Not for my sake, but for the lady's sake.
I am attempting to as I can, sir.
Thank you.
Of course, if you require anything else, please do not hesitate to call upon me. Otherwise, I will go and start making my rounds among the help to alleviate some burden of a bad branch of the Blackwood tree.
I will be going tonight. I wish to bring my revolver. I don't plan to have it loaded at the time. It would be more for show, as well as my saber. So
I would recommend, sir, if you're going to be taking a revolver, he reaches down and pulls out a case that a revolver case looks, a boxed revolver looks like. This belonged to your father. He left it here when he went to the Americas. As he opens it up, and it is a beautiful black pistol with blackened blued steel pistol with blackwood handles with carved inlays on it.
well, now that's just lovely. I would be honored to wear my father's revolver.
And sir, if I might make a recommendation, you are one to control your temper most of the time. Put 4 shots in it and leave yourself a cylinder on either side just to be on the safe side.
Seems fair. I mean, I honestly was planning on probably loading it. I just didn't know if you would be against it, but
I wouldn't say fully load it, just to be on the safe side, just in case some idiot attempts to relieve it from you.
yes, understood.
And your saber will be polished and cleaned, and the scabbard cleaned as well for tonight.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Of course, sir.
Please enjoy the rest of your evening as well, once those things are all handled.
Oh, I have no doubt I will, sir. Felicity.
Yes, she is absolutely ecstatic to find Albert, so she will be waiting by the window, waiting his arrival.
You see a carriage pull up with the crest of the Isle of Man on the door.
They are coming, they are coming. And then she gets
What
up.
is it, dear sister?
Just arrived.
Oh, Albert has arrived. Oh, dear sister.
He surely has brought Margaret and Rory and Coira as well. Come, we must be a merry band and meet them.
Yes, we must greet him, of course.
Opening
Very
the
mint.
door and coming down first is a about 6'1", very trim gentleman who has a very military cut to his otherwise just very higher class suit at the time. Opening the door and helping down his wife and then his son and daughter. As he turns, eye patch covering his left eye, smiling upon seeing you and between seeing Felicity Cadman. Sister, brother, a pleasure.
Oh, it's been so long, dear Albert. And then she'll come over and kiss his cheek.
Oh.
He
He has just a little bit of scruff from the travel.
Mm-hmm. And dear Margaret and Rory and Coira. She greets all of them.
You see Cora kind of hide in her mother's skirt to a certain degree.
Oh, it is me, Felicity. It's been so long since I've last seen you. You are about this tall. Oh, and she sort of gestures at like knee height because she's been a while.
Right.
Oh, we must go to the drawing room. There is much to discuss.
Let me go ahead and get my wife and the children settled, and then I will join you there. Margaret's...
Oh, but of course.
Of course.
Of course.
The travel was not easy on Margaret, unfortunately. You see, she's a little bit green
dear.
from the travel. Green in the gills.
We shall have tea made immediately.
Much appreciated.
She rings the bell and
Yes, only the best.
tea. A nice ginger tea. I'm supposed to help settle her. And then we go and like patient. Felicity like just she'll wait, but then start playing the piano because she might as well. She does need to brush up on, although she pretty much practices every day.
Yeah.
Right.
And Cadman is
But-
in the room with you, waiting and just pacing excitedly.
Playing the really hard Beethoven pieces because she's
Right.
definitely going to exhibit at the ball.
Right. So as, Albert sits, joins you for tea, catch up on gossip. Albert's not much of one for gossip, but he enjoys watching the two of you flitter about and enjoying yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
A cowboy! Can you believe it? A cowboy here in Angel Crest. Oh. Quite cultured that
You
we're
will
going to
meet
see
him
Tom.
tonight. He's delightful.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's riot.
Quite a
really.
gentleman.
Yes.
Well, I know a couple of men from the Americas who have been called cowboys that have also been quite cultured in their own way. I have no doubt that he's of a similar cut of cloth.
Yes, quite cultured indeed. They have a thing called a hootenanny.
They're also
Hootenanny.
called
Hootenanny.
hoedowns.
Oh, do you bring a
A
hoe?
hoe.
It's like a gardening implement.
It
Or a
comes, it,
shovel.
Would
it
you garden
comes from
down?
that in the name. Well, you don't, but it's putting the hose down and going and enjoying yourself at the dance.
Oh,
Oh, like post-harvest.
quite
Correct.
colorful words.
Very much.
Colorful.
Very much a post-harvest festivity, much as we have on the Isle of Man, much as it has in most places outside of the capital.
How are things on the Isle?
Yes, tell us
I
all
have-
of your
I have-
excursions.
Oh, we don't have the time for that. We'd be here if it opened until next week. And we have the ball to attend tonight. But the Isle as well. Businesses continuing. The distillers are producing. Everything is as it should be.
Great. Wonderful.
Splendid.
Now then, it has been a long journey, and tonight will be a long night. I'm going to go retire with my wife for the ball.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Does anybody else have anything to handle before we get to the ball?
I mean, I would imagine just like Kevin and Felicity just like kind of giggle to ourselves as soon as like Albert leaves.
Yeah, we think he's really cool. So we're just like,
I can't wait for the festivities tonight. What stories he'll have? What tales
sure,
of
he always-
honor and
always has
merit?
the most marvelous tales, and I mean, he always tells that really, really interesting story about that one battle at sea and how he pulled out his saber valiantly and saved the captain. And we shall have a merry time indeed. And then Margaret's always a delight.
Oh, quite a very handsome woman, indeed. Of course.
Yeah,
It
we can
is-
continue to just
Yeah,
you know,
it-
chatter.
The music kicks up, violins, strings, pianoforte, beautiful dancing, women in gowns, men's in suits, people being twirled around, getting ready to be entered into the ball proper. The Pavamati Family Ball is the event to kick off the year. Hosted over by the illustrious Marchioness Pavati Pavamarti and her husband, the General. There at the gate, greeting everybody along with their daughter, Georgiana Pavamati. See here, the siblings would arrive in a fashionable middle so that everyone can see their entry.
Mhm.
Beatrice, I feel like you'd be the first to arrive.
I'm on invitation.
You would be among the first to arrive then. Lady Beatrice, always a pleasure. You hear as Pavamati sends a hand, taking you slightly with a little slight bow.
Oh, Marchioness. Pleasure as always.
Beatrice, I hear that you have a new fighter in your circuit. Is that truth to be told? You hear from the general, leaning over a little bit conspiratorially towards you.
Well, General, it depends. What have you heard?
Well, I heard that there's an American, a cowboy count, who's looking to enter a fighting ring.
That is quite interesting indeed.
It's just a rumor, don't hold me to it, of course, but I felt like if anyone would have some truth on the matter, it'd be you.
Well, I'm sure if a cowboy were to enter the ring, everyone would know.
You see him kind of, he gives you a very like affectionate pat on the cheek. Like you're good. You're good. I will get the truth out of you one day though. Pavamati, tips. Miss Douglas, always a pleasure.
Of course. Very excited for the festivities.
There are many a canapé, many a small sweet things, small savory things scattered around as the theme is harvest is the harvest court of ancient English mythology. As there is food to be had everywhere, there is music, there is the spot cleared off for dancing, though no one has started it yet, as it is not yet time. As Badrick and do Badrick and Arthur come together? Or
Say again?
Would Badrick and Arthur come at the same time?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you probably would get there before me because I don't know all the proper procedures. Unless you wanted to make sure I got there good.
I think the only reason he wouldn't be because he was so sluggish, like with the letters and feeling kind of
That's fair.
down. So he was super sluggish. Like Nathaniel was like, "You need to
That's
hurry
fair.
the heck up." So yeah.
Or you're not going to make it. Go, go, go. He actually kind of like rolls you out of the carriage.
Wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry, my headphone keeps cutting out.
He almost like shifts you out of the carriage when you get there.
I stumble and I have to catch myself. Thanks, Nate. Thanks. That's
always a pleasure, dude. Always a pleasure, your lordship. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to shove me. Yes, I
would never, sir. Simply assisting you down from the carriage.
Okay, well, I will see you afterwards.
Of course, sir.
Pray that I get through this in one piece. Then I imagine I see AP come. I imagine I see him around the same time.
He'd be a little bit behind you. You've already made your introductions as you finish your introductions and turn around to kind of watch as Arthur. You see kind of an interest in the eyes of the trio greeting everybody at the entrance, and you hear the general kind of over his wife say, "You must be the cowboy count I've heard so much about."
Cowboy count. Well, that, my dear friend, is quite an interesting way of seeing me, but I am from the West, and I am here, and I am the new count. So I guess you'll...
Pardon my husband. He speaks out of turn, and you just see this look that causes the general to all of a sudden look everywhere but his wife and you.
And I go, out of turn, and I don't see anybody else here ahead of him. I think he spoke just fine.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Well, what do you think of Jolly London so far?
Well, quite rainy usually, but it's nice.
Thankfully, you've caught us a little bit outside right before the rains actually do start, so don't worry, plenty of rain soon, followed by the snow.
Oh, good fun.
Enjoy yourself, please, Count Blackwood.
Thank you. We'll certainly try. And Eli would be with me. Obviously,
yes.
Jonathan's not, but Eli is.
Yes, Eli is with you. Lord Thorne. He dots his head in acceptance of the notice as you guys continue on in.
I'm like, look at you, Eli, making friends everywhere you go.
It's not me, it's the family. We've been over this. Thorns are respected everywhere.
Yes, well, I respect you.
God, someone does. I still think that might be a mistake on your part, but we'll find out.
Oh, look, there's Duke. Let's go hang out with him.
Duke Brown.
I'm glad I caught you before we get in. I don't see Felicity or Cadman here yet. It seemed to upset you when I accepted the offer of the dance yesterday. I want to make sure that, I mean, I was only accepting as I assumed it was polite and courteous
Oh.
to do so. If it,
Yeah, no,
if it
yes, that's. Oh no, that's. I'm sorry, I'm so readable. Oof. No, that's fine. That's. She's a lovely lady. I'm sure you guys are gonna have a fantastic dance. She is. Yeah. So no, it's nothing. Just uh, how do you say? Just possibilities that just may not ever come to fruition. Just life. I guess life is a good way to say it.
the only
But
way you're going to know if it comes to fruition is if you go and speak with her and let her know how you feel.
yes, but I think
Ah.
something's also just set in stone too, though. But I appreciate the
Good
the
Lord,
kind,
man,
the
you are a
words.
Duke. You're a Duke.
Yes, yes, I'm a duke. But if you hear the rumors of just my father, but
Listen,
yeah,
listen. Speaking of rumors, I was informed that there's a rumor that I'm trying to court you and your cousin. So, truth be told,
both of
I,
us will.
I would not have faith in the rumors that are being spread about
You know, you Americans are rumored to have such diverse appetites.
And I'm so sorry, AP, that you are not in my league. So I don't mean to break your heart, but
My dear Duke, it is
I'm sorry.
definitely the other way around. I have
Oh, no, 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 no. But that is nice of you to think so.
Let's go
Chris
get a
is
drink. my
now
friend.
stepping up and with like a glass of like elderberry wine filled with berries in it of the seasons. Like,
Oh.
well, isn't this quite an interesting conversation?
Be interested.
Tell me, Miss Douglas, do you think there's any substance behind these rumors, having observed them in public now?
Oh, well, my. It's like I very much roll at the mention of rumors. I'm sure if there was anything that of substance, I would have seen it already, and I see no hand holding or kiss of cheek, let alone a dancing hand. Well.
Quite right, quite right. And as this congregation is here right inside the entryway, the siblings show up.
So we would probably arrive in the same carriage.
Yes.
And then who else is with us in the carriage?
It would be Albert and Margaret.
Okay. And is Flory not invited? I don't know.
So Flory would not be attending with you for this event.
Okay. She is pouting a little because she wanted Flory to come, but is trying to hide it because, she's trying to be proper about it. And that is the wound of that is also staunched quite nicely by the fact that Albert and Margaret are here. And so she's been chittering the entire way about how excited she is.
Yes,
And-
I know. It's been many a social season.
I'm so glad. So the carriage doors open and you see Cadman, I imagine you would go out first.
Yes, and I would take my hand out to guide you out. Of course.
Yeah, she takes your hand and she steps down and you can see her and the silk piece that she ordered. It's beautifully woven into her ash blonde hair and it's like a dark yellow kind of mustard, and then she has the painted peacock feathers and the jewel the glass
Crystal.
yeah
Crystal.
the crystal accessory dripping down we'll say the left side of her cheeks, and then it matches the crystal that has been filigree that's been sewn into her dress, and she has a well fitted dress that's off the shoulder and has the kind of like a poofy sleeve and little bits of red to match Cadman, and then of course she has like little dainty slippers to match, and a fan because
Yes.
Of course, as a woman would have.
Cadman, what do you look
Yes.
like?
Yes, and I am adorned in the new cufflinks that I just bought with the just the regal chain that I just bought, and I would have returned the watch to my father, but I would have asked him prior.
He would have. The second you would be offering it to him, he actually closes Cadman's hands around it. It should go to you, I think.
Father, really?
I trust you with it.
You offer me so. Thank you. I'll be a pinnacle of this family at the ball.
I have no doubt you always are.
Oh. And watch in pocket, high-waisted coat, tails hanging down, and of course he has a cane. He has a
Of course he does.
all like that deep red with yellow silk neckerchief.
You guys do your introductions. Felicity, and you guys make it through the parents, and Georgiana looks up with you.
Marquez.
Felicity, always a pleasure.
Always, Marquez. I do so adore your bowls.
I appreciate it. They are always the highlight of my year. Please, go in. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
I
You as
lean
well.
in. I lean into Felicity just before we step in. If you don't mind, I'm going to spend just a little bit more time on pleasantries. Surely you know that. Just to
She
appease.
hides her rolling eyes with a number of eyelash bats. Like, of course. I'm sure you want nothing but to have the eyes of dear Georgiana linger on you. Just
Sister.
I shall see you.
Devonshires, a pleasure.
And then, like, Felicity knows that it would be rude to not greet them, so she's like,
Ah, dear Lady Leopold.
Bianca.
And as you guys, the sound of this actually gathers everyone else's attention. As Leopold and Bianca Devonshire, twins, make their way up, her harm through her brothers, as they're very, very comparatively subdued dress to Felicity and Cadman, though no less exquisite in cut and style. Leopold in soft blues and silvers, and Bianca in just this almost pearlescent, beautiful Grecian style white gown.
I lean in quietly towards Felicity. Drab. What was that?
She says abhorrent, terrible, abhorrent.
They are immaculate and well suited. Obviously, an idea of the moon and the night being the representation of what they're going for as they go in and very graciously greet the hosts. You see Leopold taking Georgiana's hand, kissing the back of it, and you see that he holds the hand just a second longer than is proper before letting it go.
I'm just holding on to the cane and just kind of wringing it.
Cadman! Felicity! How darling to see you both.
Ah, Devonshire's darling to see you as well.
Do love seeing you.
I am so happy for us to be here. Another social season begun. Such joy for us all to have together. As Leopold comes in, offers Cadman a firm handshake.
Ah, yes, quite a joyous occasion.
Roll me an etiquette.
First
roll.
of the
First
night.
roll of the night. Saving it for this.
Actually, first roll of
Okay,
the
all right.
campaign.
Of the whole campaign.
So
That's pretty good.
For those of you watching at home, This is a new system using polymorph. It is everybody has a particular dice that they roll, and your goal isn't to get the highest dice. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the numbers that they're targeting for different aspects of living in this society. What did Cameron roll?
I rolled a 1. So I
Ooh.
didn't get etiquette, but I did get honor.
Did get your honor. So tell me how this moment your honor would allow you to hold your graces together through this.
Yeah, and I'm just like kind of gritting my teeth, but I'm giving a deep bow as I'm shaking his hand.
Is it a little bit of an overly firm handshake?
It's an overly firm handshake, and I just reconfirm it's like
He
it
matches
is
you.
It is very gracious for such families to come together. We very much do look forward to these occasions.
As do we. He says he grips Casman's hands equally hard before releasing it and giving Felicity, a usual taking her hand, kissing the back of it. Bianca going in, offering her head to Cadman before greeting Felicity with a proper little bit of a bow.
I greet her back with a bow, as is proper for ladies. Bianca, splendid to see you. I see you have...
It always is. You look so gorgeous in the gown. You and Cadman are also always such a pleasing match to behold at these events.
You so much.
Oh, and you as well.
I see.
Handsome is indeed.
Handsome.
As always.
As sun and moon. Am I correct?
Very close, night and moon.
Oh. Night and moon.
Ah, yes. Quite clever indeed.
And your family as well.
Yes, my father is still sadly ill, but
we're
doing what we can at the moment.
I hope he comes to good health in time.
Such dour news.
There's a moment of very brief but intense sadness behind Leopold's eyes as he puts the mask back on. Yes, of course, and we all pray for his health. So we'll see how that turns out. Now, shall we go in? I hear that there are some new faces to be had and the returning face of a very particular count.
Indeed, you are correct.
Yes, lead on.
They turn and start entering in.
Like link arms with Cadman. Just like, they're infuriating.
Absolutely devilish.
Awful. Hateful man. Had to go and deliver such a proper kiss. I can't even be mad about it.
Sun, night and moon.
So beautiful in a dress that's not even interesting. And
it's so bland. Really. Oh.
Just yeah. That's us.
As the Devonshires and the Cavendish Fairfax siblings enter into the party, you see the general take his place on center stage as he raises a glass and a toast. Gathered friends, we welcome you yet again to the household. On behalf of my wife, the Marchioness, I welcome you. May this be the first of many beautiful balls this season. Onwards and upwards, he says he takes a drink.
If you guys notice, again, Arthur.
Yeah, no, he looks at
100%.
I'm looking at you. I look at you. I'm just like,
Beatrice is giving like an honest, curious eyebrow raise, not one of disappointment or disgust, just like, huh.
Elijah is.
I'm not.
Next time, it doesn't matter if you're in the mood for it. That's the polite gesture to do. You're insulting their taste in the vintage.
I'm not insulting the toast, though. And I take another swig as I smile at Eli and give him a wink.
Eli, I leave you to your new friends for the night. He's your problem for the evening. As he turns and tries to find more civilized company.
I do enjoy a good problem.
What my dear friend Eli
Oh.
really means is you have the pleasure.
I meant what I said.
of entertaining me.
Wait, what was that, Beatrice? You said something. I'm sorry, I didn't. So
I
loud.
just
didn't
said I
hear
do
you.
enjoy a good problem.
Oh.
Beatrice,
Hmm.
yesterday
Nothing.
you guys were speaking about
The first dance will now begin. Please,
Oh.
please find your partner from your dance cards.
Oh,
If you do
wait.
not have one, please find one.
I am.
Hmm.
Cadman is racing towards Lady Georgiana.
The second Cadman turns the corner, you see Leopold leading her onto the dance floor. You hear creaking in the cane as you ring it so hard.
Nope. Gentlemen, propriety. Okay.
Do you require a partner? Mr. Cavendish, you hear from Bianca, Devonshire, who comes sashaying over towards you. Would you deny a lady a dance?
Would be honored.
Greatly appreciated. I would hate to be out for any of the dances of this ball.
Yes. How could I deny the festivities? And as I'm saying this, I am looking towards Georgiana and Leopold.
Arthur would walk over to Felicity since she made the offer the day before, and he would extend his hand. Surprisingly, the correct way you would do it in court.
You are a man of surprises. She places her hand in yours.
But my father did try to teach me a thing or two. Let's see if I can remember. It has been some time.
I'm sure you'll pick it up just fine. And she'll
He'll let
allow you to
lead
take
him.
her onto the dance floor. I assume it's probably like a waltz or maybe like one of the
It's gonna be a waltz.
like line dances that they
It'll
do.
be
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be a waltz.
Line dancing. I know that now.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
We do those all the time at the hoedowns. Different type of line dancing.
I think Beatrice just like steps away from Badrick, knowing he's sort of like ineligible for this season, expecting women to start flocking over.
And flock.
Oh gosh, I tried to slink away. The
second he tried,
Beatrice goes, I'm like, oh.
You see actually mothers crowding around Badrick from behind, preventing him from backing up. Do you leave him to this fate?
I just sigh and look at him, seeing what earnest is in his expression.
Help me. Help me.
Duke Brown, I do believe we need a moment of business, so might as well take advantage of the first dance.
Of course, yes, Tupus. I'm so sorry.
I will get you for the second one. No, I want the second one. They start cat fighting with each other as you slink away.
I promise everyone it's only for a moment. We have serious business.
Very, very serious. So of the utmost importance. But I'm just so sad I
Afraid and
can't
all
grace you
that.
all with the first dance. I'm so
For
sad.
everyone dancing, roll me a footwork.
Ooh. Come on.
I rolled a 5. That's in the footwork zone.
Yeah, it is.
Come on, green die.
I was worried about this.
All right. Yeah,
5.
Yeah.
5, baby.
I got a 4.
Oh, well, yes, good.
What?
Hey,
Did we
that's
all
one of the
do it?
ones. We have a 3. Felicity.
Felicity, come on.
Tiffany.
You're muted.
4.
4.
Y'all did it.
As if everyone has practiced for this moment, which all of you have, even Count Blackwood. The violin is struck, the music begins, and the ball turns into a beautiful symphony of motion, dancing, laughter, and joy filling the air. As right at the end of the waltz, there's a crash from above, and a flash of light, and in the center of the dance floor, standing tall, is this figure in a full white ensemble, cloak hanging off of one of his shoulders that seems to glow from within, as if galaxies and cosmos itself is found within its fold. His mask, a sun with a superimposed moon. What a social season to be had! Now, I am not one to simply crash a party uninvited. He snaps his fingers at what looks like some motes of starlight fall down and hitting the ground, and as they touch, these gray and silver, they're not men. They're these forms of, like men. They have 2 arms, 2 legs. They don't have faces. They just have these black orbs with what looks like constellations inside of them. Now then, I felt the presence of my partner here, so therefore, let the game begin. And he snaps his fingers, and each of you feel in the back of your mind, hello, Rangers. I have need of you. And that's where we're going to end it for the night.
Oh!
I demand this not end right now. I demand that this
I demand satisfaction!
I demand to...
Do I recognize the voice?
You do not.
Okay. Thought I'd ask.
Oh,
Maybe it was the
man.
cat. I thought it was the cat.
Oh.
We're about to fight now.
If it's a cat, if it's a cat, you gotta do like, I need you, meow.
I need right. I would have made that kind of joke. I'm not gonna lie.
I need
Can I
to meow.
say that was a fantastic first session, Graham. Thank you so much for
Yay.
leading us in our
Great
first
job.
dance today. Or
New
tonight,
GM,
Zine,
new
whatever.
system. Absolutely.
Now
wonderful.
then, we'll go ahead and we'll start the reverse of
Wait.
where we started. If you go ahead and give your name and where they can find you, will be it. So, Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I played Felicity Fairfax today, and you can find me on YouTube under Dungeon Damsels or on Twitter at Dungeon_Damsels.
Michael.
I'm Michael. I played Cadman Cavendish, but you can find me online at RoboSardi doing art and animation, and you can also find me in Tiffany's game at Dungeon Damsels.
Morgan.
What's up? I am Morgan. I am playing the Cowboy Count, Arthur, Percy. I almost said put Percival because of the conversation with Percy Blackwood. And you can find me at Mindflayed Mondays or on Twitter at Mindflayed Mon.
Blake.
Hello, everybody. I'm Blake, and I was playing Francis Badrick Brown. And you can find me where you normally here, because, yeah, I like playing on ZealZaddy's channel, so check me out here next Wednesday.
Beatrice for Natalie.
Hello, everyone. I am Natalie, and I was playing Beatrice P. Douglas. You can find me most places on the internet, Ghost Candle or Ghostly Candle on Twitch and YouTube, floating around the space, playing all the games, joining all the channels and the tables, but you will always find me here every Wednesday.
And I am TR Grimm. I was happy to be the master of ceremonies for today. You will catch us back here next week at the same bat time, same bat channel. If go ahead and you can find me at empathic_Grimm on all of the socials, and I look forward to seeing everyone then. Bye.